Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hi Prana with Milani. In this space, we talk about health, wellness, and share positivity and inspiration to uplift the human mind. Our guest for today is Senior Art of Living teacher, personal development coach, and author of Amazon best-selling book Michael Fischman, whom Gurudev and we all lovingly call Mikey. Mikey, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Before I formally introduce Mikey, I do want to share that I have a very special bond with Mikey. I took my very first silence course with him back in 2009, and with his wit, wisdom, and humor, it was such a beautiful and amazing experience. I absolutely enjoyed it. And then I took so many other graduate art of living courses with Mikey following that, and it was always so much fun. Um, but I do want to share that one of the greatest gifts that Mikey has given to this world is his book, Stumbling into Infinity. I have a signed copy, I must say that, of course. And have read it multiple times from cover to cover. And with each time, I have experienced so much learning, so much growth in spiritual development that I've gotten a lot of answers. A lot of time I'm searching for something, and I refer to his book. So, Mikey, thank you for this gift to the world.
Oh, thank you so much.
Mikey, I know that this is not the topic for the interview, but if I can just detour a little bit and ask you a little bit about your book, this interview wouldn't be complete if I didn't ask you about it.
Please go ahead.
Mikey, could you just tell us a little bit about what brought about you to write this book, and if I mean it has impacted me greatly. Um,
Well, I think there's so much confusion about the relationship with a spiritual teacher, with a guru, especially in the West. It's something that's very foreign to people. And I had a very unique and extraordinary seat in that I was with Gurudev from the very beginning. And I wanted to share with people what is it really like to spend time with a spiritual master. I wish I could tell you that I was the brightest student and I absorbed everything very quickly, but that definitely was not the case. And how does a spiritual master work with a student to bring out the very best in that student? And that's what the story is about. So it's a memoir, no doubt, but
mhm,
it's
mhm.
like a novel. And it really, many of the stories, people have told me it feels like Gurudev is talking directly to them. And I get countless emails of people who share how they've had a quantum leap in their life after they've read the book. And to be honest with you, for me, it's a great honor that the book came through me. I wish I could tell you I worked hard at it. I mean, I did work hard at it, but I feel like it was just a happening.
Yeah, it seems like that, when we read the book, and I recommend everybody on this planet to read it. Mikey, some of the challenges and obstacles that you have mentioned in the book, and I won't give out too much, but we all resonate with it, and how Gurudev helped you overcome it, and how you fought hard to overcome everything. It just resonates, and it gives us a lot of answers, and a lot of motivation and encouragement to go through. So, to our viewers, again, formally introducing Mikey. He is a founding member and former president of the Art of Living Foundation USA, and he teaches retreats, graduate silence course retreats with the foundation practically every week. His main goal is to help participants find peace, fulfillment in their daily life. And Mikey believes the key to all of this is meditation. So, Mikey is one of the foundation's one of the first actual silence course teachers very earlier on, 30, 35 years ago, Mikey.
And probably that's correct.
Wow. And he teaches, if not, like 25 to 30 of the silence retreats in a year. And he's taught that in many countries. So you can definitely imagine the experience. So, Mikey, I'm here to talk to our viewers from your experience, and I want to get right into it. Could you tell us exactly what is the art of silence retreat that you facilitate?
Well, it's a very beautiful, deep program that allows an individual to get incredible deep rest. And in the process of getting deep rest, you're also able to eliminate all this stress from your nervous system. And when we attend the Sky Breath meditation course, which is the first step in Art of Living, we learn that every emotion has a corresponding rhythm of breath. When you're angry, you breathe a certain way. And when you're relaxed, it's a very different way of breathing. But on the silence course, we go a little deeper into that knowledge. So every emotion also has a corresponding sensation in our nervous system. And through the power of the breath and through the power of observation, we could eliminate these deeply rooted impressions in our nervous system. And that's what happens during the silence course. We do a particular type of meditation called hollow and empty meditation. And in that hollow and empty meditation, that's exactly what we do. We use the breath and the power of observation to help us eliminate these deep rooted impressions or sanskaras in the nervous system.
Absolutely. And that's exactly why, I mean, I have taken countless silence courses. I started my first one in 2009, and I take three, if not four. In the pandemic, of course, we took a lot more because there was really not much to do and it was all online. So I've taken so many, and I come out of each silence course feeling so refreshed and rejuvenated. And as you rightly said, that it really erases all that is not needed in our system, right?
Yeah.
Uh, right. So, Mikey, you did briefly introduce about the hollow and empty, but I want to get a little technical here for our viewers who've never taken a silence course or never heard, they want to, but they're not sure what exactly to expect. Of course, we don't want to give away too much because expectations reduce joy. But in a little bit technical manner, what exactly are the processes or the types of, if you could talk a little bit more about the types of meditations or some of the processes, and also about the silence aspect about the retreat, please, Mikey.
Well, as far as the meditations are concerned, they're all guided meditations. So whether you have experience with meditation or you're a newcomer to meditation, I think you'll get so much out of the meditations we do in the silence course. And it's not one or two meditations, there are numerous meditations, and they're a variety of meditations. But as I said before, the predominant technique is this hollow and empty meditation. And, as far as silence is concerned, we waste a lot of energy just in talking, all unnecessary chatter that we do. And by not talking, by being in silence, we can conserve a lot of energy. So you feel so vitalized and so energized afterwards. So once the verbal conversation starts to decrease, what we also find is the metabolic rate goes down. And as the metabolic rate goes down, also that chatter in the mind starts to subside. And it may not happen immediately, but by the second day or the third day, most people feel so comfortable with inside themselves, and they find that there's so much less mental chatter. They're sleeping more deeply during the silence course. And, you had shared that you take silence courses multiple times a year. It's really like an overhaul for your nervous system. So you could do it once a year, or you could do it once every 2 years, but it's a great thing to do quarterly. It's like a cleanse for the whole body mind complex.
Absolutely. And that's why I find that every time I come out of the silence course, not just my mind, but also my body feels stronger because, as you mentioned, right, about the metabolic rate, you feel more agile, you feel more rejuvenated, even with the body level. And of course, what it does to your soul, your calmness, your happiness and joy is a different level. So, Mikey, thank you so much for explaining that thoroughly. Mikey, so I want to get into your experience of the silence course right away. How is Okay? So we kind of know who your teacher is, but you can tell everybody who your silence course teacher was.
No, well, in the early days, there was only one teacher for every program, and that was Gurudev. So in the early days, that was who we attended a silence course with. And he would come to the US rather frequently. So probably twice a year, we would do extended silence programs. Minimum would be 1 week. Sometimes they would be 10 days. Now they're
Wow.
more easy to attend. They're usually in a weekend format, Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes a little longer if there's a holiday weekend on a Monday. And, one thing I've noticed as an instructor is that as the course progresses, the participants start to take on a glow, like just an inner and an outer shine. And if you're familiar at all with the science of Ayurveda, in Ayurveda, there's a defined substance called ojas. And ojas is an example of the vitality in an individual's nervous system. And one of the ways it reveals itself is on the skin. So the skin has a certain glow when there's a lot of ojas in the nervous system. And I would tell you it's almost miraculous how I observe this in the participants because they usually look pretty worn down on the first day of the course. Everybody's really tired from working and
That
family.
would be me.
But then by the second day and by the last day, people are just lit. They're just glowing. So that is really a reinforcement and a beautiful gift of satisfaction as an instructor to observe that.
Absolutely. So, Mikey, tell us about your first silence course then. How is it like, and what was your experience? And even as you went through the 7 days, I'm sure that you had your own challenges, and it was all not blissful, but it ended up, as you said, right, blissful. But if you could tell us a little bit about your experience of your first silence course, and also what made you to do the silence course?
Well, the reason I did the silence course was simply because Gurudev was teaching it.
Of
And
course.
whatever he was doing at that time, I was just following and I was just going. So I did uh, my first Sky. It really wasn't called Sky, it was called the Art of Living course. So I
Mhm.
did 2 weekends in a row. And then the third weekend, he was doing a silence program in Montreal. So from California, a group of us flew to Montreal, and it was a 10-day silence course. And that silence course was very unique. I don't think it's ever been repeated because there was an additional technique. There was hollow and empty meditation, but we all were initiated into something called the dunda process. A dunda is a stick, and we received a stick and personal information for Gurudev, how to use it. And it was something you had to carry with you all the time, whether you were going to the kitchen or to the meditation hall. And if you went to sleep, you kept it right near your bed. If you had to go to the restroom, you had to keep it right outside the restroom. And it just amplified everything to an incredible event sense. So it was like doing the silence course times 200. It was so powerful. And,
Wow.
it was all new for me, sitting for hours and
Mhm.
hours and hours, day after day, meditating. And in those days, we didn't really do hollow and empty. We did a similar technique that Gurudev called hollow and yempty. And I was like, he would just say hollow and yempty. And I would go, what is this yempty? And then eventually it became hollow and empty. So yeah, it was super amazing, super exhilarating. And I'm really grateful that I get to now conduct these programs.
Absolutely. Yes, and I'm sure, as you said, long meditations. There is a sense, even when I do the meditation, sometimes it's really painful to even be able to sit for the 40, 45, 1 hour. But that tapasya makes you so strong. It polishes you so much. It strengthens you so much. And I think that there is no parallel to that, correct?
Well, it's much easier now. So we don't have extremely long meditations. We do encourage people to sit in a chair so that
Mm-hmm.
they sit comfortably. And
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's not very physically challenging. We also
Mm-hmm.
some yoga during
Mm-hmm.
this course, which helps the body open up so that you're capable of sitting for longer periods of time. There's lots of pranayama, so it helps get rid of that fatigue and inertia in
Mm-hmm.
the body. So it's much more user friendly than it used to.
Right. And also, there are sufficient breaks for people to take nature walks and be within themselves. We obviously encourage people not to, to turn off all devices, communication with the outer world. And even the food is very light and easy, conducive for meditation and such, right?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So, Mikey, of course, I mean, I'm still doing the math. If you've been teaching this for 30, 35 years and 25 to 30 minimum courses a year, it's still going on in my head how many courses you must have taught. But could you share with us some experience of some participant uh, that really just jumped out to you? And of course, as you said, that whenever you sit in this course and you teach facilitate the course, and the participants they look lit by the end of it. They look blissed out and they feel so good. And that is, of course, the greatest gift for you, and what you feel the most gratitude for. But some experience that you could share from a participant, if possible.
I think at the end of the course, there's an opportunity for participants to share their experience. And the main experience is gratitude. Almost everybody is extremely grateful that they went through the course. And what I find is very interesting is regardless who the instructor is, because I've talked to other silence course teachers, everyone says, you were the best silence course teacher I've ever had. So I don't think it's so much dependent on the teacher. It's really the content of the course or the grace behind the course. And if I would say a miraculous experience, I think that miraculous experience is inner stillness. It's such a rare phenomenon for the mind to just settle down and be still. And even if they're momentary experiences where there's a pause between the thoughts, that's such an incredible experience. That's such a blissful experience where the mind actually settles down and transcends the intellect, transcends the emotions, transcends the physical body, and just goes into itself, into pure consciousness. That is so therapeutic for the nervous system. And it's not necessarily a flashy experience. It's a very soft, gentle, um, delicate inner experience, but the value of that is so incredible. And, maybe I could share this is that many people become connoisseurs of various different things. Could become a food maven. Some people are connoisseurs of fine wines, of listening to incredible music, and they can tell the difference between one sound and another sound. They've trained their mind or some of their senses to have a unique sensitivity to a particular substance. Well, when you become a meditator, and the more you meditate, you're also becoming a connoisseur. And that connoisseur is of that delicate experience of going inward, where the breath becomes so still and so soft, and the mind just becomes it's not even the mind anymore. It's the universal mind, the consciousness, the pure consciousness. That's an incredible skill. And the more you meditate, the more you understand how to go inward and to get in touch with that delicate aspect of the self.
Wow, 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 Mikey, that was such a beautiful explanation. Amazing. I am sure that everybody, after listening to this, is just going to want to take the next silence retreat. I have no words. This truly, and whatever you said, it has been my experience, honestly.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, Mikey, for being my first advanced course teacher. And really, after I took the course with you, I was addicted, if I may say so, that I really felt that, taking at least one course a year is very important for our mind, body, and spirit. And also, it teaches us, it enlivens a lot of skills for us, whether it be in our work or relationships in our daily life. It just takes our life, it elevates our life experiences to another level, has been my experience of having taken silence courses. So Mikey, thank you so much, really, from my entire heart. Thank you so much for sharing your experience about the silence course and about what this retreat is. I'm sure that many participants, many viewers who are listening to this are going to be very encouraged to take the next one. And also, I'm going to link your next silence course in the description box of the video. And if they haven't taken one before, it'd be great to start with Mikey. And again, Mikey, I thank you so much. Very grateful for your sharing. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Maloney, and hope to see you again soon.
Very soon. Thank you all for listening to us. All the links and even the link for Mikey's book is going to be in the description box of this video. Definitely read that, and hope to see you all at the next silence course very soon. Namaste. Have a great day. Bye bye.